It's Friday. I know Friday's your date night, so 6 o'clock.
I can't do it this week.
You're out on this
I'm
week
going to
too?
New York.
Oh, club stuff?
Well, no, club guys though, because I'm doing I made 2 lights for one of the club guys, and me and one of the club guys who lives here in India are gonna drive out, deliver it, install a light, blah blah blah.
I get it. You're fucking wacky. Do the hang around.
Whatever. Dude, I'm so
Hang around made me a fucking light.
Trust me, he knows better than me. Oh, it feels so good to.
Listen. Put me on. What's your Bluetooth speaker at? Where's it at?
What?
The Bluetooth. So I can turn it wherever your Bluetooth speaker is so you can hear it. Because you ain't gonna hear shit on my phone. This is the new one.
First off,
Where your mics are all, before we're all mic'd up and ready to go. Nathan!
he is right there.
I need a shot first. Let's do a little shot.
All right. So.
Is my mic on?
Yeah.
Howdy. Now I got your COVID germs in there.
That's right. Wipe it out.
I'm Julius Ray.
Oh Lord. I'm gonna fucking edit that out.
No way. You know you keep stuff. That's what makes it good when you do silly stuff that's not too silly.
Well, look what we're gonna.
What are we having? What is this? The Buffalo Trace.
Now, the Buffalo Trace was given to me by a channel friend.
You know who? You remember who he is?
Yeah, he's my buddy.
Oh, it's your buddy.
Tim Schoolfish. He knows I like bourbon, and he knows I'm about to do a bourbon tasting.
Did you look up? Now I know that I can't remember the name right now because I've gotten you a bottle. That Buffalo Trace makes another brand. Dang it! I'm gonna look it up. I see here real quick.
So Timmy sent me this for Christmas.
It's very nice, Timmy.
Yep, he lives down in Florida.
Benchmark. Buffalo Trace makes a bourbon called Benchmark. And that bourbon goes from, they make it all the way up to 125 proof. And I can tell you, the 125 proof tastes like you're drinking gasoline. But the other stuff tastes just as good as what we're getting, if not better than what you're drinking. And that Benchmark is like $14 a fifth.
He won't shut up. I used my Smith & Wesson.
Cut your wrist.
609.
Is it sharp enough to cut
There
your
you
wrist?
go, beef. I used it. I like it. I got a lanyard on it and everything, man. Can't get this bottle open though. I don't know if this is Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. The proof 45% alcohol, so it's 90 proof.
It's 90. So
That's good proof. I like 80 to 90.
Yeah.
If it goes over, then it's too strong for me.
Oh, so I was telling you that so Buffalo Trace makes that Benchmark, and they make one that's 125 proof. Horrid. I drank some of it. I had to put it in the refrigerator in a glass. I poured a glass like that big. Took one sip and had to put it in the refrigerator, my mini fridge. I was like, I can't drink that stuff right now.
Yeah, it's just chilled too, because it's been in the shop cold.
Studio. This is studio.
Yeah.
This has been in the studio and it's cold.
All right, Timmy. First crack of the Buffalo Trace.
To Timmy. In his free booze.
You gotta sip it.
No. You want to know what it tastes like? Drink it.
No.
Because it gives you whether it's too...
I drink it the way I drink it.
He dips his panties in it.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a 90.
Now I'm gonna pour some more in your glass, and you're not gonna shoot it.
Okay, I'm
You're
just
gonna
telling
sip it. And
you.
you're gonna
You can
enjoy
tell
it
it's
with me.
some 90 though.
Yeah.
Because an 80, it has that extra. Move this music out of your way.
Well now the music's got little bourbon flavor.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin the music.
Well, let's make this romantic too. We're gonna light a candle.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, shoot.
Do some picking.
Screw that light.
So, what was your holiday like? Since we haven't seen each other in a bit.
It was nice. My in-laws were over, and we went bowling, and we hung out, just chilled. I worked in the shop a good bit, so my in-laws and my wife are in there. They play Yahtzee and stuff like that. It's cheesy, but it's nice family shit.
Yeah, it's good time
And
to
then
talk.
and I'm out here with Lilith, working in the shop and doing whatever. And the whole time, my guitar was out of tune and I couldn't get it tuned.
It was not out of tune. It was user error. Don't edit that.
So I haven't practiced.
Well, let's just go ahead and this song's going to start with a G.
See, now the G.
G.
Okay.
There you go. I need to tune mine. Let's take a tuner break. Give me your tuner. Is that the only tuner you have? They're fart knockers. All right. Let's see.
You want to just play this and
No.
Because I haven't.
We need you to practice. That's the point of this. Is not only is this a bourbon tasting, it's a / guitar lesson. Right? A little bit of guitar lessons going on. It's your next country rock singer, Dick Ritchie. Everybody. All right, let's look up guitar tuner here. Stop. Because yours is in tune, it's telling it. So we're going to start off the G. Driving down the back road in my mind. Okay, so we'll start with that. So when you have you practiced any other music when you play? No. So do you want to go back to something that's easier that you're going to know rather than starting something that we're going to? Basically, I wrote a song that's going to be recorded by the BOC, and so I've got to play it a bunch too. So when I do practicing or the lessons, we try to familiarize yourself. If you're trying to play guitar and you learned your basic chords G, C, D, A, and E. If you've learned those chords, the next thing to move on to is to try to find a song that's easy. So, what were we playing? Bob Dylan's. What were we playing? That Bob Dylan song the other day.
Well, I'm going to take this badge from me.
So, we'll start with a D. No, go back to G. We're going to just go through some chords. So it's going to go G. Oh, make this bad for me. So there's a couple ways to play it, and obviously we're going to do the easy beginner kind of level thing. So we're going to start with the G. Mama, take this bad from me. A. You can do A or you can do C. So technically,
A's easier.
A is easier.
My problem's dropping from G to D.
Okay, but that's the whole point of the whole exercise of what we're doing is to keep doing, even if you stink at it. Mama, make this bad for me. I can't use it anymore. Getting dark, too dark to see. Kind of like that. I don't know if that's the actual words because it's been a while. But I mean,
Yeah.
we can always Google. Let's do a little gaggle here. So I suggest if you're doing the new guitar thing, to find an easy 3-chord song. There are a billion of them.
Like an easy one, because like I said, dropping from G to D.
But that's what I'm saying. But that exercise, something that you're familiar with. There's like I said, Chris Stapleton. There's all kinds of people out there that have Beatles that have the 3-chord songs. So knocking on heaven's door. So it's Mama Take This Badge Off of Me. So if you look here, we're gonna start. They're wanting you to start with a D. Mama Take This Badge. Let's go with that one. That's wrong. Okay, so it starts with a G. Don't listen to that. Whatever Google says wrong. So go for your G, clean G. I want a clean G or don't play it. Put their last finger on there. Put your third finger on there. There you go. Now, since you don't know your chords all the way, even though I'm switching to the next chord, don't play it, but try to get to it before I change to the next chord. So I want to move just a little bit, and you're watching me, and it's at the same time I'm playing it. So it's, Mama, take this badge from me. Badge from A minor.
Oh shit! Then so, going D to A minor is.
But that's what I'm saying. You can skip while I play D. You skip to the one you know that's coming up next. This is getting your muscle memory down to just to try to remember what's next.
Can I just do a regular?
It's not cheat. Let's learn. Guitar's not easy, but it is easy. But it's more muscle memory and time. So you know where you're. Let's do your A minor. Let's just pull off an A minor right now. Look at me. A minor. So first fret, second string.
First
fret,
second string,
and then your second fret. There you go, right there. So now I'm going to play the other one, and you just key in on that. So just listen. Mama, take this badge from me. And that's when you would have switched to a G because you know it. So your goal is to just do any chain. I mean, you know what? I was talking to I think it was Danny. I was talking to Danny, and I was telling him about you doing some guitar lessons. He goes, he's starting to pick it up. I said,
well, he just saw me hitting chords.
But the point is, people that if you've never picked up a guitar and you see somebody just even what you're doing right there, just strumming the G, cause I'm strumming the G. So you're picking one chord. You can almost play a song on one chord. Let's just get some rhythm down real quick. Go to G. Go to your G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Once I was a stranger and this town, and then I went and got drunk and down. Something, So
yeah.
You can make the words up as you go.
Rhythm is so complicated.
But it's not. It really, you think it is until one day it's going to snap in your head and all of a sudden you've got something. but instead of, and that's why I kind of said, hey, if you can find an easy song to practice it till you hate it. I'm going to tell you, any musician will tell you they've played, like, especially people are playing on stage and shows, they have played that song so many times, they don't like it. But it might be one of their money makers, and they're going to play it every time. But if you're good at playing a song that you wrote, so good, that, especially if your band's tight, you're going to not really enjoy playing that song. It's not like I'm going to come over to your house and the whole band's coming to the house and being like, you're going to, hey, can you play Gut Punch? We don't want to play that. Let me play you something we don't know. You know what I mean? So, just pick a rhythm. Sitting in the studio, Dick Ritchie and his cat. All right, let's do a little sipping. Yeah. So I'll tell you about mine was pretty uneventful.
Yeah.
I really didn't do. So I didn't make it till the ball dropped this year.
Dude, I went to bed 12 minutes before midnight.
No, man. No. So I had the whole.
I do it on purpose.
No, I didn't. I had the whole cold thing a month ago that took a month. You know, the whole thing that everybody on the internet's talking about. Hey, have you had this weird cold that's been lasting a month? Your ears plug up, you're hacking. So got rid of that. And we did the whole practice night one night, and it was good. The whole band was sounding tight. And the next day, and don't get me wrong, I drank a little bit, but the next day,
of course,
it wasn't slightly a professional, right? When it comes to, I can have a few cocktails and not overdo it. But we did overdo it a little bit, but we played all night. Next day, even at like 3 or 4 o'clock, I was starting to feel ugh. And then the next day after that, I couldn't hear all my ears. It was plugged up again. So my wife's like, "Are we?"
It's funny. The guy who sent this bourbon, Tim, has the same thing going on.
It's all over the internet.
He just did a video and he's all clogged up and said about the same damn thing that you just said.
It's all over the internet. It's like a very common. We'll call it a conspiracy, but they're spraying us with something. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird that everybody has had something like that, and it's not COVID. I mean, the COVID, cold, flu, whatever. But
there's
went away and came back for about 2 days and it's gone.
There's a pneumonia that's going around too. That's supposed to be pretty bad. A pneumonia of some sort.
Something.
There's a UFC fighter that had to bounce out of the 296 fight. Kind of ruined the card. Ian Machado, Gary, whatever. He's an Irish dude. He's a jackass. But he had this so-called pneumonia that people were getting and had to bail out of the card. So that's probably next this winter.
Oh, man.
Is some stupid...
for being a mild Indiana winter, which, have you noticed over the last couple of years, used to, if you're an Indiana person, winter started in December and it snowed. But over the years, it has stretched to, the snow has now moved to late January, 1st of February, and our springs are moving out.
How about this? So, it's supposed to snow Saturday.
That's what I hear. That was good. I got one of my plow trucks ready.
I mean, we may have gotten 1 inch this year so far in Indiana, and we're in January 4th. But I got an email from one of my subscribers who lives in Massachusetts, and he sent me a calendar winter projection for Massachusetts area. Now, Massachusetts gets winters.
Yeah, usually some serious snow.
Well, I don't know about, I lived right north of Boston for.
Did you get the accent? Boston?
For a year.
I heard a little bit of
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
Boston.
But he sent me a snapshot of the calendar for the weather projection for Massachusetts for all of January.
Mm-hmm.
And almost every day of the month has sun. And then it has temperatures up in the 80s, 70s, 90s, 60s, 50s, 80s, 90s, every day of the month, starting here in the next week.
That is crazy.
I don't know what that is. Like, it had temperatures, if it hits the highs of 101 was one of them. In January, in Massachusetts.
I'm going to throw out this.
I don't know. I think it's a bullshit weather projection. But if it isn't, guys, Massachusetts is looking
Florida-ish.
Right here, right between me and old Julius Ray here is going to be that calendar that has the snapshot of all the it's a snapshot of the calendar that has all the weather for Massachusetts for the rest of January. And in about 5 days, it's going to start hitting 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s as highs if it hits the highs.
That's got to be crazy because it's
Ain't no way.
There you go. Where'd you hear that from?
I have a subscriber that lives in Massachusetts and was checking his forecast weather and came up with this.
Where did he get it from?
I don't know.
That's kind of weird.
We'll see.
But okay,
that's global warming shit that I always
global
argue.
Warming or spraying the skies. I mean, don't know. But I can tell you the weather here in Indiana, born, raised, lived in Kentucky for a while, but the weather has definitely changed to where what used to be fall, because usually back when I was a kid, fall, it was October, and I remember Halloween, it was snowing. And then it moved to November, then December. So now we're moving, our springs are in May.
My thing, though, is with weather. Weather
just changes.
It changes.
Yeah.
I think the axis of the Earth does a little this, a little that. We're talking really small fractions and
Living
nothing.
in a snow globe.
But you know what I mean, though? It's like, I remember periods when we were in our teens and we were catching blizzards.
Yeah.
But there wasn't blizzards the decade before then. So, you know what I mean? It's like it was warmer then, blizzards, then it warms up, then blizzards. I think it hits in spurts.
I'm not a global warming person.
No, neither am I. To blanket the whole theory of it.
If that was true, Al Gore said we were going to be.
Yeah.
You're right?
Well, he's still out.
He's still wrong, though.
Oh. But
those glaciers are still there and they're growing.
What cracks me up is that they don't know for sure what it is. They don't know if it is something, how to fix it, how it was caused. But watch them all scramble and try to
They'll tax you, though.
Although
take
all
your
of a sudden,
$10.
all of a sudden these bio businesses will open up and they'll all be ran by some kind of government funded something. Just because it's
government. If the government's involved, it's nothing but money.
It's always involved.
All right. So I do like the buffalo trace. Did you have something else that we were going to try today?
So I've got 4 more bottles back here. We're not going to try them.
Okay.
Me and you are just going to drink bottle from bourbon from Timmy's bottle. But what I did was I got on Google and I looked, like I already kind of know a couple good bourbons, and I know that they make single batches and then they make barrel, specific barrels and this and that, and they have much better, more expensive. But what I did was I targeted a few brands I know and then found a brand that I'm not really familiar with, which was Old Forester.
I've never had it. Seen it, never had it.
So I think Monday I'm going to be doing a bourbon testing. My buddy Dan's coming over.
Okay.
Not Danny G, but the guy from the...
I think you had him on before.
He was a comedian.
Yeah.
He really likes bourbon. But so we're going to do some testing. So maybe I'll hit you up. Maybe you can come by too.
Yeah, sure.
Now, the Old Forester came up as a hit, as a good budget bourbon. And all these are going to be under $25 a bottle. So I can't wait to try this.
So I will bring you a bottle of that off-brand.
Yeah. If you
I've got 2 bottles. I know
think my buddy Billy's got me a bottle too. So I may have to have about 5 guys.
Hey, yeah, let's get
a bunch of bottles.
Maybe we can, Oz man don't drink anymore. Hard liquor.
George only drinks beer.
Yeah,
me, you, Dan, maybe Billy, and maybe somebody else.
Yeah, Billy.
But so there's that. Then I know Four Roses is really good. This was under $25.
Who makes that?
Four Roses.
Is that the
It may have, it may have a parent distillery, because I'm not an expert on any of these.
Me neither. I'm a good drinker though.
There's a batch of Four Roses that's excellent. I got a buddy Chuck who's a big bourbon guy, and there's a Four Rose bottle. This isn't it, that he really loves. But I believe some Four Rose batches don't hit marks. This may not. This is just the budget, Four Roses, but it was under $25. But I know it's got a batch that goes off charts.
Okay.
Now, Evan Williams. Evan Williams regular, I like. I mix that with my Coke.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's
I'll drink it straight too.
If you took a Jack Daniels and a Jim Beam and mixed it, that's what it tastes like to me.
I get it, but I think it still tastes good. But this is Evan Williams 1783.
Okay,
now,
this
hit the marker as a This is better than the big bottle of Evan Williams I got up there,
Yeah.
which is just a Kentucky First.
Not that it's bad,
No.
but it's not. I'm not going to the shelf and be like,
If I'm mixing, I'm mixing with Evan Williams.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I don't like to mix with the good stuff because I don't want to waste the taste.
True.
So I'll put this on ice or drink it straight. So hopefully this is good and much better than standard. And then of course,
Maker's Mark.
Yeah, you can't miss.
Yeah,
standard,
really, that's really a good
standard Maker's Mark.
Really go to.
Not a fancy bottle of Maker's or anything like that, but it's Maker's Mark. All these bottles,
booze on a budget.
All of them under $25.
Booze on a budget.
You're getting a fifth.
Good bourbon on a budget.
Good bourbon on a budget.
Yeah.
Not crap.
Not like no. I mean not.
Now this wasn't $25. I think my boy Timmy spent probably about $35, $40.
But it's
Maybe
still
more.
really good. It's
great.
Not like fantastic, but
love
it's
it,
really
Tim.
a good. I like it.
Yeah.
I will, like I said, I'll drink that other. Now I'm going to draw a blank on it because every time I try to remember it.
And then I got my Bird Dog blackberry flavored whiskey, right there.
Any flavored.
I like.
I don't know how you do that. I'm not.
If I'm not wanting something super high test,
but I will.
And I want a little flavor,
like I said,
I'll grab that.
I'll grab the Benchmark, the standard bottle of Benchmark. I like the 125 proof. No.
So that is going to be Monday. And maybe I'll have a few guys here. I'll definitely have Dan and maybe Danny, Julius Ray, a.k.a. And maybe Billy. I don't know if Billy wants to be on camera. I'll ask him. He may.
Let's put a mask on him. We'll mask him up.
He needs a bag.
Give him the John Wayne mask. No, that's not even John. It's the, what is that? The old gunslinger.
I thought you were John Wayne Gacy, the clown mask.
Even funnier.
Serial killer.
Anyway, the Lone Ranger. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's somebody that's been out of the
No, I don't know. I think he may. I got another table similar to this out in the barn. I'll bring it in there. I've got another cover. Set them right up here. Do the view we're doing now. Have the bottles out there. It'd be cool to kind of do a blind tasting kind of thing, see who can guess what's what.
Or
that's hard to do though.
So put the price tag on each bottle.
Well, the prices are pretty similar.
I know. No, even though it's
you
can put it on each bottle with the cheapest, and then see who can guess which one.
It would be
the
cool.
Overall ratings.
I should have bought. Well, we got the Buffalo Trace, which is definitely like a couple notches above these to a degree, definitely. And if I had like another good bottle, maybe I'll buy.
Okay, no, I already got you a good bottle.
Oh well, there we go. So now,
one you remember that?
And then I've got the regular Evan
Remember
Williams?
the rye I had at Screws? I bought the bourbon at one for you.
See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a bar around the corner. I'm going to have you guys, and I'm going to bring out shots, and I'm going to say, okay, one's regular Evan Williams, and the other one's 1783. Tell me which one you like best. How about that? And it'd be nice if I had a really good bottle of Four Roses. Okay,
hold on. I almost need a pen so I can write. I gotta get you. He's taking care of me on some other things. So
everybody would be drunk by the time they left here after that.
You know what though?
And there's nothing wrong with that either.
As long as everybody's got a designated driver or lives across a good field you can drive through. So you want a good bottle of Four Roses. And do they make a good bottle of Four Roses?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
No, this is their standard Four Roses. Nothing special. And then they do like, I think it's called a single batch or single barrel.
All right.
But Four Roses and a good bottle of Maker's Mark. Just bring it, if you buy it and then keep it for your house, bring it over and then you take it back with you.
If I bring it, I'm going to send it. Book some studio time. So I have to go to the studio first. And some of the guys wanted to do it all at one shot, but you can't since the drums are all mic'd up differently. So we got a local studio guy here in Noblesville. I can't remember his name right now, but I will put it up once we get to him because he's given us a hell of a deal. Because when you go into the studio, you're putting down, let's say, 2 hours of music time, which is like 2 songs. Then it turns into 4 hours of editing, $300, which is dirt cheap. Now, mind you, when
Have you seen the studio?
Yeah,
pretty nice setup.
It's a good setup. This here, it's kind of that
Like,
it's a good studio.
when I see this, I think this could be a studio.
No, you have
Like a
separate buildings that you should really.
Yeah.
Sound studio would be fantastic. Back on. Anyway, so how's work going? Let's not talk about too much work, but
yeah, good. 2023 was not a good month.
But your products are going out pretty good. Woods Edge products, love them. But
yeah, I made guitar racks with those same holders. Here, I got one right here. I made guitar racks with these. So you can buy a 6-pack of these for like $25, $30. And then 2 screws here go into, and I made them with cedar wood one time, posted it on Etsy, didn't get any hits. But I didn't do it like yours with a piece of walnut live edge, and I think that might really spark.
That the photos, the problem is right now I've got it hung up, but it doesn't. I haven't taken the good photos. A good photo is the big difference between something selling.
Go home this evening, see if you can get a good photo, and send it to me.
Okay.
This evening, and I'll attach it to this video, and you see it right here. But I'm going to make a listing for that for guitars. I don't do gun racks. There may not be a picture in this video, but whatever.
Yeah, but it was all together.
I was doing gun racks.
Oh, the gun rack, I love it.
And the problem with gun racks is every gun's different. And I had to do a lot of communication back and forth with customers on dimensions from the trigger to stock, trigger to barrel, and to barrel, and
so it'd be a custom price then.
Yeah, but then
a lot of headache.
It turns into that, and then the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You can't really make as much money. That's what I'm shooting. You can't make as much money. I like how those look, because I'll take whatever piece of wood. In your case, it was live edge.
Somewhere
else had a lot of groovy grooves.
She's like, I love it.
Yeah.
She's like, don't cut that down. She goes, it'll ruin.
You got another gun? Because I can make you another one for that spot.
No.
I got all my grandpa's guns hanging on the wall. I made a 3-gun rack. So I have my grandpa's 20 gauge, my grandpa's 30-06, and my grandpa's 22 rifle, all on the same rack.
That's pretty cool.
With so I take the branches, I take the branch that had a twig coming off, cut the back, and then the stock or the trigger area sets there. And then the fatter branch, and the barrel goes, and I drill a hole through that branch, and the barrel goes through the branch. It's cool.
That piece of live edge.
No,
there was prep. I could see.
But you still got to think like the consumer though, Danny, because that's what they're going to say to themselves. Then they're going to try it. They're going to do it. It's not going to look as good. It's going to look like crap. They didn't know how to finish the wood right.
True.
They're going to make.
Oh yes.
They're going to. When I make it, these are already attached. There's going to be hardware on the back and supplied for hanging. Instructions, all that stuff that they're not going to get any other way unless they find a YouTube channel.
True, because I owned owning the construction company, you would often get, and I love this, that you would get a customer who tried to do it themselves.
Yeah, you gotta love those because I get
there and I'm like, well, now that you've effed it up really bad, the gist of it is having the knowledge, the know-how. And just for you, picking the product, doing the prep work, not just taking a piece of crap wood off the side of a barn and screwing something to it.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too is
RC Cola and a moon pie. You know what? I dig RC. That was one of the memories as a kid was going to Kentucky, getting an RC Cola and a freaking moon pie, and then they made the whole song about it.
Yep,
there's a country song with that.
I like Cherokee Red. You don't ever see that.
No, never.
And that was a great red.
How about
soda.
Al 8? You don't get Al 8 in Indiana?
I don't know what that is.
All right. Ale 8, for those who know, if you're down south, southern Indiana, south of the Indiana line, cross the bridge, as soon as you get into Kentucky or Tennessee, it's Al 8. It's one of those drinks. It's
But yeah, people don't take in consideration, especially when they're speaking to, like, say, a business person who does it for a living. As you know, you'll have a trailer full of tools.
Oh, yeah.
You have that overhead. You had that investment. Then you'll have whatever electricity. If you have a shop, you got insurance. You got all the years it took you to learn how to do it and develop the product and all that. And then they'll look at it, and they will then, it's like taking a recipe, and then they dissect the recipe, pull
Oh,
the
yeah.
ingredients out and say, oh, well, all you're using is flour, egg, vanilla extract.
You go to a
and-
restaurant, you're
and
like,
sugar. And,
all you did
baking
was cook
soda.
me a pancake.
Yeah.
Why is that $8?
But the same person is saying, well, that's all you did. And then all you got to do is say, well, yeah, that is all I did. So why don't you go down to your local grocery store, buy those ingredients, and go make your own cake?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
As somebody
It's
who,
amazing that there's people out there that they do that. Well, I had somebody going at me. They wouldn't stop messaging me. And I was like, and then, so of course, I go, so I love this. So when you get like a customer or you get somebody that's just bothering you, they go, well, how much would it be if how much would it be if you just sold me the wood? And I'll go, yeah. I reply back, yeah. No,
It's
there's
nice when
no,
you're the
no,
owner.
no, no. I mean, I just want to buy the wood. And I go, okay. I reply back, okay. And then I did this probably 10, 20 times back and forth. And I answer them with these ambiguous answers. Yeah, you can do that. No, what do you mean? No. Because it's like I'm like, you know what? The product is $140. Buy it or leave me alone is what I wanted to say. But I couldn't say it. So what I did was I just fired back these ambiguous, like, just stupid answers. But they weren't so far off. So he thought I was still answering a question. And when I had shut down, I wouldn't even read their messages because they would like give me paragraphs and say, well, I know all you're doing is this and you're doing that, you're doing this and doing that. And I'd say, sure.
So in my line of work,
Draw them nuts.
back in input, but that's as far as it's going to go.
Your ambition, your drive, your whatever.
Yeah.
But you got to always, I think there's too many of us, and then there's boomers, and then us Gen Xers that are out there, and we think we know everything. And you get a millennial, you get a Gen Zer, you get a millennial, you get somebody that's younger, and they may be smarter than you. And that's the thing is you got to still keep an open mind.
I do. In the construction business.
You're talking about a guy you knew didn't have a better idea.
No, not just that I knew. Somebody, but being somebody that's just like you. When you have a product and you know what you know about that product, somebody's going to tell you, well, I can do it for $5.99. You're right, you could.
And I've gotten that before, and I acted like you said. And I think I was wrong. For me, for my situation.
It's for him.
Because, and I don't mean I was wrong like that person, it's how I handled it was wrong. Because here's the thing is like, I wish I would have said, because I had an employee just like what you're talking about. And they're frustrating. But I think there's two ways I like to give them, say, I'll give you 2 choices on this. 3 choices. I'll give you 3 choices. Keep doing it the way I tell you. That's choice A. I think is your best choice because that's the way I do it. I think
tested out
I don't
well.
say I don't know, but I think it's the best choice. B. We'll do it your way. You do it your way, and do it for no pay. And if it is better,
then I'll pay the bill at that point. Yeah.
Right. Then, and it works better than my idea. Then I will pay. I'll say, you know what? I'll pay you double for that time it took you to do it. I'll pay you double. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or just go ahead and do it your way. And if you screw up,
you pay the whole bill.
You're going to take your time, your own time, to fix it, do it right, and do it right. So I think that's the smart way to handle it, Danny. Because
at this point now, I kind of laugh about it. I laugh at. It
becomes a testing ground, and your company could be better based on their ambition
since I'm retired, I'm okay.
You know what I mean, though?
But
it just gets down to time. When you know something is tried and true, and you have a certain time period and a deadline to get something done, you don't really have the time to flim-flam.
Yeah, who wants a Peter measure?
But if you do have the time, I think it's good for employers to maybe humor their employees and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. You can just keep doing it this way, and we'll just shut up and go, and we know it's going to work, and it's going to take this amount of time. But you think you have a more efficient way, a quicker way to do it, you do it, and if it doesn't work, you just did it for free, and you're going to fix it for free.
But see, that's never been the case.
If it does work, how about I'll pay you double time because you just gave me a new idea to make my stuff more efficient. Because if you don't humor it, you may be losing out on an opportunity. Because say that thing can save you a percentage of time, it all equates into money at the end of the bottom line at the end of the year. And it could be an idea that saves you 10 grand on the year. You
All right,
make
so
10, you know.
Great work talk. I'm going to cut you off just for a second.
Go ahead.
The work talk was getting way
Garbage.
too.
Yeah.
I'm too deep. Okay. No,
I love work
what's
talk.
in the.
No, I don't like it.
Is it that bad?
If you like it, you can take the whole bottle. How about that? Oh, that it was
Questionable. If you're in a bar and somebody says, "Here, have this blank labeled drink."
I needed the bottle it was in. Somebody gifted it to me. I tried it, didn't like it. It was sitting in the bottle. I needed the bottle for a lighting pendant because I used to do whiskey bottle pendant lights. Just give it a taste.
What's up? What else is up here?
That's got a whole nother story. Then there's apple flavored Crown Royal.
The Tanqueray. What made you get the Tanqueray?
I drink. That's my
Gin and juice.
Yeah, in the summertime, I drink Tanqueray and tonic with lime, or vodka and tonic with a lemon.
Vodka tonic. That was the go-to. Then I went to martinis for a while.
Try that.
I was at a Dean Martin phase for a minute, right?
Yeah, but in the summer, I like clear brews if I drink. You taste the peanut? Garbage, isn't it? You don't like it?
It's not. I mean, if I don't want to drive to the store because my bar is empty, that would be okay.
Yeah. And there's
Get
times
fruit on every minute.
There's times where you just want to warm your soul, you know, and not do the whiskey face.
So now that I'm observing the studio, what's up with skateboards?
Well,
come on, tell me some stories on it. You thrash and you doing your ollies and your kick flips.
No, not anymore.
Give me a kick flip. If you can pull off a kick flip, I'll give you $100 right now if you can pull one kick flip.
No, I can't. I never could. Look, there's absence.
Are you the poser then?
No. So the deal is with the skateboards is, first off, I was born in 1970.
He's got his Tony Hawk face.
I lived in California.
Kid.
I lived in California from 1976 to 78 or 9. And if you look at the time outline,
that's that new skateboard.
Yeah, skateboarding.
The videos were.
And I lived in San Diego. I lived
in
San Diego, La Costa, right by San Diego, California, and it was hot. The scene was really hot. I'm a 7-8-year-old kid, so that's right around the age where you're starting to do some stuff and have fun. So, but skateboarding back then, you had fat skateboards with one tail end.
I had the old drift saw,
and then it did like a fish forehead, and then I liked UFO wheels. I liked a fatter wheel because you did more. What we did was, in my area, was more downhill skateboarding.
Okay.
And it was a lot more like that versus the swimming. We didn't have swimming pools because I lived in the newer section.
We had a half pipe growing up.
Yeah, the older section is where
quarter pipe.
See, we didn't have none of that.
We were poor kids.
None of that was even a thing in
pipe.
78, 77. That wasn't super hot. It was swimming pools. Empty swimming pools. So, like, if you lived down closer to the beach, where the older homes were, and they had these concrete pools, didn't have water.
Videos. I remember the videos.
That's where they started doing it, right at that time. But I was skateboarding quite a bit. I was good for a kid, but I wasn't like those guys, obviously.
Dude, really good at it.
I loved it. It's in my fabric, but it doesn't mean I took it much further after that. Because then we,
But can you do a kickflip?
No, because they weren't.
I could never.
Kickflip wasn't even invented. They didn't even have the boards where you did a kickflip in '76.
That would be in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
Late 80s.
So
okay.
you're in a whole decade off. I'm talking the roots of it, man.
But no, the roots would be the narrow, huffy.
Yeah, I remember those. The plastic skateboards.
Yeah. The orange ones.
Yeah. So that was the thing too. But if you were really into it, like in 1976, I had a 12-inch wide skateboard, and I'm 6, 7 years old, and it's up on UFO wheels, nice, big, powerful, beefy trucks.
Much older than me.
Yeah, I'm 54 here soon. But I painted that black skateboard. I painted that.
Okay.
And then I decoupaged the other one, and I was doing that, and selling them too. As a few years ago, I would buy skateboards longer than a few years, probably about 5, 6 years ago. I was doing all kinds of different cool stuff, eclectic type of that kind of like art in a sense.
Still pretty cool, man. I dig it.
So
I too.
Not really.
Okay.
I kind of, but not.
You ever go to a Comic-Con?
No.
Oh, man. It's kind of fun. I went to 2.
I would like to go to People Watch.
Yeah. Is it? Never? No. Ever try to skate?
No, because I'm
You ever
too,
done the old guy? I think I could still do this.
No, I could, but I fear that if I go down, I'm breaking shit.
I'm breaking a hip.
Yeah, because I was a big snow skier growing up.
Oh man, I tried that. I did the moguls one time. That was it.
Yeah, well, I was pretty good. There was like 4 or 5 of us that were good in my high school in West Virginia. We chose not. We stopped playing sports, and all we did was ski, drink, and smoke dope. No, but
Anyway.
yeah, that's where I got the skateboarding though. And so then I started, like I said, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I was making them. So I would buy the blanks, buy the trucks, buy the different color wheels. Then I would do the decoupage or paint the skateboards. I have a few out there too, and some I didn't sell. But I was doing all kinds of crazy shit.
So there.
Oh, you asked about comic books.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually I have started the artwork, the theme, and the storyline for a knife comic book.
That's cool.
Called Kershaw 5.
Okay.
So me and my buddy Tim down in Florida, Tim is going to start writing on it, and we are going to try to put something out before the end of 2024.
I
feel it.
That's cool.
It wasn't hard to do.
That's actually a cool thing. Except
Now you do it electronically. That's what Timmy and I are going to do. I mean, I'm going to want a physical copy of the comic, obviously, or try to put out.
That's a pretty cool thing.
But what it is Kershaw 5, and it's 5 kids, because I based it off of I went to Walmart or something, and there was a 5-pack of Kershaw knives.
Okay.
And it was like $10 or something. And I thought this would be a cool story if you had like 5 orphans, and they're, you know, in some level of here, why don't you hook me up?
Yeah.
Of abuse in their lives, you know, different levels.
You're like that is a Batman Superman.
Oh yeah, from foster care.
Yeah.
But you have one of them's like a little bit older orphan kid who's been through it all. He finds his pack of Kershaw knives, and then the personality of each of these 5 kids fall into the personality of the knife because they were all different styles of knives.
Okay.
You know, and then what it was going to be was an adult comic book that gets kind of like Pulp Fiction-y.
That's the whole.
And these kids end up slaying shitty adults.
Okay.
That are
so like the
people.
whole Family Guy.
They become
the Rick and Morty now.
They become children vigilantes